station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life.
Hello, it's your girl Regina Sunshine, and they call me the Affirmation Queen. Why am I called the Affirmation Queen? Because I'm a big believer that if you change the way you speak, you'll change the way you think, and you'll change the circumstances in your life. So start today speaking words of life over you and your circumstances, and see if everything doesn't begin to line up with those things that you are speaking. And I want to leave you with these parting thoughts. Remember this: God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life. And take with you my personal motto. I always say it's not over till I win. If I hadn't won yet, that just means it's not over. So I tell you today, it's not over till you win. If you hadn't won yet, baby, that just means it's not over. Be blessed and keep winning.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, Fizzle, Fizzle. And this is Instinct Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
This is going to be good. All right, you guys, you're back live on the air, Regina Sunshine, and I'm here. And this is not a guest. This is a family member. Welcome back to the show, Desiree Lee.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you know, we're trying to catch up real fast during the break, which is almost impossible since we hadn't talked in a long time. But, and I'm still trying to remember how I first met you. It's like escaped me now, because it's after a while, you know people so long that you're like, I don't even know how we even
met, but I'm glad we did.
I am too. Well, remind our audience who you are and what you do.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm Desiree Lee. I am a best-selling author, also a publishing consultant. I help individuals around the world share their stories. In high school, I had a 3.8 GPA, 2 basketball scholarships, on my way to college in the pursuit of the American dream. And 2 weeks after I graduated, I found myself on the other side of the law and was incarcerated for 11 counts of armed robbery and 5 counts of aggravated assault. And from that, I just took the thing that I was most shameful of, the thing that I tried to hide for 6 years after being released from prison, the thing that you don't just go up to people and say, hi, my name is Desiree Lee, and guess what, guys? I am a convicted felon, right?
Yeah.
And so it's amazing on how we came from that point to God has taken the thing that I try to hide to elevate me and to glorify his name, and then now showing other people how to do it.
Yes. What's interesting is what's so beautiful to me is when I met you, you had already walked in that space in terms of you were already a best-selling author. You were already out here sharing your testimony and blessing people. But from then till now, the growth is still tremendous. So it's like a whole other lifetime. Right? Of blessings since I saw you last.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I don't even, I did not get here by myself. From that point, from there, sharing my story, it was individuals and strangers who guided me and opened up opportunities because of my courage to share, but wanting to help. And I have a whole list of individuals, and it's amazing. We call it the ripple effect, you know, and we call it, you know, the passing the mustard seed effect, right? And so it's amazing, but I did not get here by myself.
Well, I have to say this. I'm enjoying watching you shine. When I'm telling you, every time I go on Facebook or somewhere and you're at another event or whatever, and I'm sitting there like, you know, like I said, I remember when she was here, and look what God has done because you've made yourself available. and because of your transparency. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Do you believe that transparency has played a big role in the success that you've had?
Absolutely, because you never know who knows who, and you never know how that person can help you. I remember when I saw my first, one of my mentors, Mr. Dan, and I was really excited about just having a meeting with him. He's the president of the Apex Museum here in Atlanta. And my dad said, go in there with a list. I don't care how crazy it is. Just have a long list. So I went in there with the list, and he looked on the list. He said, I can't help you with the house. I can't help you with this, but I can help you with the book. What I'm saying is that sometimes individuals, we got so comfortable with masking perfection or putting things and looking like we have it all together. And there's individuals that want to help you, but they don't know how to help you. So if you're not transparent in that, I remember watching John Gray just recently on TD Jakes, and he was saying, you don't hire the person that's like you hire your weakness. So if we were more transparent of just by just saying these words, I need help.
Yes.
And then that individual or whoever you're speaking with or whatever stranger, they will, how can I help you? I may not be able to help you with this, but I know someone who can.
Well, you know, this is a whole different conversation that I was thinking we were going to have. See how God moves things. Because I was telling even Jack before the show, when I hired my coach, one of the things I had to do was be completely transparent with her. She cannot coach me on a lie.
Right.
And if she doesn't know I need help on something, then she can't assist me. So I had to be very open. You know, this is where I'm messing up. This is where I'm messing up. Oh, I'm shining over here, but I need some help over here. And because of that, she was able to come in, and those areas where I was weak or I needed help really begin to build me up in those areas. So it makes a big difference when you're transparent.
And it comes transparent. And if it just starts with just your coach, that's perfectly fine. But getting the courage, I think, what's given me the courage, I always tell people, being courageous is not being afraid. Being courageous is being scared to death, but doing it anyway. And so if we become more courageous of sharing our stories or saying where we do, in the areas of where we do need help, then people are more likely to want to help or find different ways or resources that they can help you.
I love it. Well, since you were here last, this whole authors in business movement,
oh my gosh,
has taken off.
Yes.
Please tell me where the idea came from.
Well, it came from me being an author, and I was out here looking for resources. I was out here looking for help, how to get my books in bookstores, how to do a tour. And as I was asking other authors, to point me in the right direction, they were apprehensive of wanting to share. It seemed as just individuals, period. It seemed like it was a lot of competition. And I thought to myself, after they read your book, I never seen a reader just read just one book, right?
Yeah.
So after they read yours, they read mine. After they read mine, they read yours. And so I spoke with my mother, and I said, Mom, this is crazy. Why would people do this? The story is important. We want to get into schools. We want to do this, and this is our way in. And my mom just said, And then she said, stop complaining about it and create what you wish you had. And so what I did was created this organization, Authors in Business, because publishing is not enough. And it's that other side as self-publishers are having difficulty with. They either self-publish or go to a publishing company, and then the marketing aspect or how to actually live off of that book is limited. And so from that, and just creating a whole community of authors from around the world who are selfless and understand that we move as one, that we can get there faster together than we can ever do alone. So you're saying, hey, I see you doing, you're growing, but I could not have grown that fast if I did it by myself, and leaving no author behind. And that's where it comes from. Publish now. Shoestring budget.
Honey, your name has come up in so many conversations. In the last couple of weeks, people, because if you've been here when there's a lot of people here, because normally I have a whole bunch of guests, right? This is like so odd for my show. The networking after the show, and there have been at least 2 conversations where I heard people say, well, Desiree Lee helps authors, and I was like, I love it. Yes, I've heard it, and I was like, yeah, she does. Yeah, I'm across the room. Yeah, she does. Call her. So it's a beautiful thing to hear that the word is getting out about what you're doing, and people are embracing it because. When you say what you said about after they read my book, they have to read some other, I think that a lot of authors are caught up in that space in terms of the competition part of it, but you're right. There's room for everyone.
Right. I completely understand that this is your story. This is my baby.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to protect my baby. I'm going to feed my baby and take care of my baby. But the thing is, I want people to take a second as you guys are tuning in and watching this video and listening in on the show, and just to look back to see how far you have came. And then remember those people who have helped you in that process. So I want everyone to feel the love, the security that Justacia Jones, the lady with the mustard seed, gave me just to believe in me. So if someone calls me, I believe in your book as if it's mine. We're going to do this together. I don't care about the excuses. What are some solutions? And just emulate and mock exactly what my mom told me. Okay. So what? What are we going to do about it? You don't have the money? Okay, let's create it. Let's figure it out, a system, and do the best you can with what you have until you can do better. And once we do that, eventually it'll go. So, because I'm saying, we sit here, we say we want to change the world, right?
Yes.
But I can't reach 50,000 people and all these people by myself. But if I help you reach 10,000, and I help this person reach 10,000, this person reach 10,000, this person reach 10,000, we eventually just help 50,000 people.
That's amazing.
With just 5 single individuals who have came from a place in their life, and we just changed lives. Why can't we do that, Regina?
We can.
5. So if you help 5, and so I tell you to pass the message or pay it forward, the same way I pour it to you, pay it forward, and then eventually we'll see the change. I just hope I'm alive to see the change.
Well, the beautiful thing is we've seen this model before us. Jesus changed the world with 12. Right. So he was he helped Regina, those 12, and then they discipled others.
Right.
So we know what the model looks like. Right. We just have to go and duplicate that model. Right. So what has been the thing about this thing that's been most surprising to you? What has surprised you the most?
The thing that surprises me the most is the results that the authors have and how they voice how I inspire their lives, because for me it's normal. It's normal, and in the opportunities that are coming out from it, it blows my mind, because I'm saying, wow, God, me? I'm a convicted felon. I don't have an education. I started off on a shoestring budget, and all I had was a hope and a prayer. A mustard seed in prayer. And the surprise part is me being in places where I could not imagine myself to be. And it just really makes me a little emotional, because when you start, you don't think that it can happen to you. We think it's so far. And I just want everybody to know that it's not far. It's there. And this is the secret. Every great person has 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 brain. Steve Jobs says this. He said, I am not smarter than anyone else. He says, what makes me great is I just know how to connect the dots. So today, I just encourage you to just, even if you had to get circle dots, or even if you wrote on a piece of paper, all of your dots, and how are you going to connect them? And I think the hardest question is, what do I want? So what I'm surprised is how impactful of me just speaking from my heart is really making an impact, because I didn't think that I had that gift to be able to do that at one point. And I'm just like, hey, look, let me just do the best I can.
Well, the rest of us see it. You might not. I saw it the first time I met you. So I think a big part of that is being available. And then there's the hustle.
Right.
and that was one of the tips I was giving during the break, is that, even when the opportunity is there, if you don't have to hustle to go out and get it,
right,
then you're still stuck in that place. And so when your mother told you, if you, create what you want, you could have said, but what did you do? You say, you know what? I'm going to do that. And it makes a difference because you took those steps after you knew what you had to do.
And it's the can, it's in the how, and also the will. Okay. There's a saying that I get paid to travel, but I teach for free. Yeah. I get paid to travel or speak for free because it keeps you, that passionate part about it. But my mom doesn't, or individuals, even my mentors, they don't just tell you what the problem is. Okay, what do we have? Step 1, step 2. Even at this event, I said, Mom, I'm overwhelmed. It's so much. I don't know what to do. She said, okay, what do we have? And so if we attack or, approach each situation that way, to kind of just take a deep breath and say, what do I have? What dots can I connect? We'll be able to see the light. Just break it down. What do you want? Do you want to make $4,000 a month? That's only $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
Which is only $200 for 5 days out of the week. Mm-hmm. And you can get one person to pay you two people to pay you $97. You can get on Tuesday a person to buy 10 books for $10. Mm-hmm. And then on Wednesday you get 4 people to buy 10 books in bulk. And then bam, you got $1,000. If you want to make $1,000 in 2 hours, okay, then that means you do a webinar, right? Mm-hmm. And you get 10 people, just 10, not this big shebang, just 10 people, $97 in your webinar. You just made $1,000 in 60 minutes. So tell me, do you really need money to make money?
No,
you
not
just
at all.
Need an idea,
you need an idea.
Drill,
that's exactly
right.
Will
Drive, and what else she said?
Faith.
Come on, Regina.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, for a lot of people, they don't see the value in what they do. And so when you tell them, and when you tell them, you just do a webinar, and they're thinking, would somebody really pay to hear me speak or to share or whatever? And so if they can get past that mindset, past that roadblock, then the sky's the limit.
But let me tell you what, I'm gonna be transparent. When I first started, my publishing class was $25. The reason why then I moved up from my publishing class to be $47. I was afraid to make more. I was afraid of not failure, but afraid of succeeding. And I was always taught that fast money is not good money. And so it was coming fast. And everybody's saying, what you're giving is way more. It was too low to where they thought something was wrong with it. Then it started becoming enough. When I went to Lisa Nichols' Abundance Now conference a few years ago, I said to myself, this is what I want to make. I want to make $2,000 tonight. I left the conference, went on Periscope, didn't have nothing together, just my link to the webinar, and I made $3,000 in 1 hour. What that told me was I was afraid. I was afraid, Regina, because that's somebody's salary for a month. $3,000. I ain't do nothing illegal. I ain't selling no drugs or anything. And I let it sit there for a long time because I was afraid to charge my worth. So you're saying, will anybody buy it? Yes, they will. Just make sure you share the results. Share the results. What are the results? What am I paying for? Be clear on your execution, right? But at the same time, you cannot be afraid. You got over your fear of failure, but you can't be afraid of succeeding. And I think that was the hardest part, is afraid of charging this price, because I was afraid nobody was going to pay for it. And oh my gosh, everybody's told me to charge my worth. And I'm like, no, this is safe. This is safe. Yes. Right. And so when I charged my worth, my packages went from $25 to $2,700 just to help somebody publish a book, to teach them how to publish, to a membership to the tour, and so forth. And from that, when one person bought, when 2 people buy, it just built up my own confidence that, yes, I am worthy. I'm worthy to hold this money and spend this money. I can do it. It's not a bad thing.
Absolutely. And especially when you have the heart that you have to make a difference. These are the hands that money needs to be in. And so often, and I have to say this, so often we've been taught through religion that us having money is a negative thing. Not knowing that if your heart is right, God will bless you with the money so you can go out and change the world, because you are the one who will use the money to do great things. So the money needs to be in your hand, Desiree.
I mean, I'm telling you, I cannot go to Southwest Airlines on their website and book a flight and with $10.
No.
I'm sorry, I cannot. And I need to keep my phone bill on and different things like that. I think it's the exchange. If we were taught that our exchange was paying people in the number amount of tennis shoes, it would still be the same thing, because back in the day they exchanged sugar for salt and this, that, and the other. So I totally agree with you on that. And our goal, God wants us to be prosperous.
Yes.
And it's nothing wrong with that. And once you pour it back, and when you understand on how hard it was, and you bring it back, that's where you pay tithes. I pay my tithes. I plant the seed, and then I said, okay, you move forward.
We're moving into a season right now, Desiree, where the sower is overtaking the reaper. And I had a dream, and I think this is the first time I shared this on air, because it might have been last week. I had a dream last week because, I've been seeing things speed up. Things are speeding up very quickly. And I had a dream, and in the dream, God told me, he said, be careful for every thought, not just for every word. He said, because even as you think things, they're happening.
Oh, Regina. Come on.
And in the dream, I thought something, and then it happened immediately. Then the next day, I thought something, and before I could even say to my son what I was thinking, it happened. And that's the space we're in right now. God is like, I am fulfilling what the word says right now. So this is the time. If you truly believe in this dream, this goal, Regina, this purpose that God has given you, you need to think it and speak it immediately. Don't wait for anything.
Immediately.
So what do you want? What's the big, we're going to say it right now. What's the big thing that you want?
I want to be able to help 5,000 authors every single year or more. My goal this year is 1,000, and every year I want to increase. I also want my own documentary series.
Yes.
So I definitely want that. And I also want to make $20,000 to $30,000 a month, so I'm able to help young people publish their books without them worrying about if they can pay me or not, too, as well.
So it's already on the way. Everything's already on the way. Because you had the thought, and it was already beginning to happen. So the people that need to be in place for it to happen, they're already waiting for you where God told you to be. That's the only thing I'm hearing him. Desiree, as long as you're where I told you to be, the people over there waiting for you to show up. That's it.
Wow, that is so profound. That's something. You said that happened today. I was late. I was a little behind. And some things occur because I don't want to say take on people's problems, but when something happens, it affects me. When somebody, customer service, it does affect me, and it gets me all riled up. And my mom, she was able to see and come with me to this governor's roundtable. And so I started to say that, I'm not going to go. This may not be the time. So many things are happening. Maybe these are signs, and I'm not supposed to go. So we went anyway. I was like, come on. I don't know what's there, but come on, right? So when we went there, they were talking about housing and everything else. And then guess what? You show up. You said if you just show, you had to be there, right? And show up. So I showed up. Do you know all these individuals giving me cards? People were buying my books on the spot. I'm talking about these are officials, decision makers, judge, priest. He said, I'll give you favor, uncommon amount of favor with God and with men, those who sit in high places and those who are in authority. And I'm telling you, I was in the room with all of them, and they're buying my books online because I didn't have copies of them there, and they were already purchasing. But this is the thing, the giving housing. Oh, you need a house? 3 people say, I got a place for you right now in your name. People are saying opportunities. I want you to come to speak in the DMV area. I want you to come speak to this congressional, and just showing up. And you said it's there. And so I'm in awe because you just know it was an event. But for you to speak that, I know it's divine, that it's giving me this friendly reminder that, hey, look, I don't need your help to be God.
That's right.
I don't need your help to manifest all this other kind of stuff. I don't need your help to go farm and all this other kind of stuff. I just need you to show up. Remember that story I told you with my daughter?
Which one?
When she was 6 years old and she came in the kitchen talking about she was hungry.
Tell me again, because
oh my gosh, guys.
You know what? Credit to my head, not my heart. My head is so full. Go ahead.
No, it was. She was 6 years old, and that was when I was writing my book, and she was on the schedule. You keep the babies on the schedule, certain time to eat, take a bath, and so forth. And this time I was a little late, fixing dinner. So she comes in, Mommy, I'm hungry. So I give her a fruit snack, go in the kitchen, start preparing the meal, right? Cutting up the onions, fixing the rice. It takes a bit, to get it all together. So she's watching Veggie Tales. She sees me in the kitchen. She comes in there and says, Mommy, I'm starving. Oh my gosh, my belly. I was like, you are not starving. Go get you some more fruit and go sit down somewhere. She comes back in. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Oh my gosh. And I looked at her like, really? When haven't you not eaten dinner?
Yeah,
haven't you eaten dinner every night? Yes, Mommy. So what makes you think you're not going to eat dinner tonight? I don't understand. You're coming in here like you're not going to eat dinner. Go sit down. You don't have to go out here and work for the money to buy the food. You don't have to go grocery shopping. You don't have to prepare the food. You don't even have to cook it. But I will even serve it to you at your table. And God said, I've been trying to tell you that for the last few years, that I don't need your help to do that. Go sit down and be still and know that I am God. And I think that we pray and then we try to do it. And so say she prays, she's hungry, and say she got in the kitchen and she would have messed the chicken up. It would have been cooked all the way, would have messed the rice up and everything else, and who knows. But, he does not need our help to be who he is. And I am that I am, and that's what he is, and that's what we have to put our trust in. And childlike faith. Childlike faith.
I remember, and I don't remember who the speaker was. He talked about being in that place of really trusting God and having faith that He is who He said He is.
Right.
He said, and there's a period of time where it's just that faith, where you don't see anything and you're just standing in the spaces God told you to stand in. He said, but when it starts, and when the overflow begins, you're going to say, where was it?
Right.
It was already there. It was
Right.
just God waiting for you to get into position.
Right.
Baby,
Like
do
you
what I
said.
told you to do. Go where I told you to go.
Right.
And when you do, stuff just starts showing up
up.
in your life. And you wonder, where was it all this? It was already
Right,
there.
there.
God was waiting for you to get in the position.
Right.
So the people that are listening, because there are a lot of people who are having that challenge. They're trying to figure out how they're going to do it.
Right.
And I'm speaking from personal. But let me tell you something. There was a while where I was grinding so hard and I was trying to make it right. If that makes sense. And I kept hearing my pastor say, it's sweatless.
Sweatless victory.
You're sweatless, and you're over here sweating and plowing and digging up stuff.
Right.
And all I've asked you to do is be where I told you to be obedient, and then speak the word over it.
Wow.
And when I got into alignment with that, and then I met the coach that I met, and everything that she was speaking into my life, and she was like, Regina, just do what I asked you to do. She said, watch how stuff shows up. Everything changed. Right. I just told Jack on the last segment, I came into this year, I'm quitting my job June 30th of this year, and I wrote my vision statement for what I needed to happen by June 30th. And one of the things I needed was 5 paying coaching clients. I got 10 already. I needed 5 by June. I got 10 right now. I got a consultation with another one tomorrow.
Right.
So I'm in a position right now to do what I was planning for in June. And God is saying, baby, that June was your day. That wasn't mine.
Right.
I just needed you to go ahead and agree with me that this was going to happen.
And be in position.
And so people are listening, Desiree. And a lot of them are stuck. And you know why they're stuck? Because they are trying to do it themselves. They're trying to make it happen. What's your word of advice to the people who know that God gave them a vision? They know that there's a purpose for their life, and they feel like they are spinning their wheels.
First, I want to start off. The first step is just getting clear again of what you want. Yes. If it's money, if it's books, if it's opportunities, if it's speaking, if you're going to say, you got to get really clear. You may say, well, I want speaking engagements. Well, how many do you want?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you want to go? How many times a week do you want to speak? And so forth. You had to get clear. And once you have that in mind, just like you got clear, even though you said June 23rd, you got clear, right? And then the steps will start revealing itself, and you start realizing that the tips, the resources is right there in front of you the whole entire time. The next thing I'm encouraging you guys to do is just do a little bit every day. Just do a little bit every day. What people are seeing now is the result of what I did years ago, a little bit every day when I didn't have a PR. Okay, I like to tell people I have my master's degree in Google University, and I have my doctorate degree in YouTube University, and I'm enrolled in Facebook Live Community College, right? And so you have to take what you have until you can do better. And so what I'm saying to you is this. If it's a speaker, if you want to be a speaker, then what do you need? A speaker's reel. How do you create that? Where do you go? And then you have your list and you do something every single day. This is how I eliminate procrastination, because some of you guys are stuck because you're addicted to anxiety. Okay. And so you procrastinate on purpose. You think it's something that you have no control over, but you do it on purpose. So I say do 3 things before 12 noon. I hope somebody's writing this down. 3 things before 12 noon, and you'll be more prosperous. If it's check the email and that's all you do. The last thing is beat the clock. That's what I do. I have to make it, if you're a competitor, because I play basketball when I was in high school, my grades and everything. And so I'm a competitor, an athlete. I'm athletic by nature, right? And so what I do is I create my own little races with myself. So I have to beat the clock. So I said, sorry, I have 2 hours to do this. And I have to do it by, if I don't finish by 2, I don't do anything else after that. I go to the next task, and then the next day I beat the clock. I'm that much closer, instead of saying, oh my gosh, I got all this to do, and then you never get it done. And so that's what I say. You want to make your list out, make it clear. The last point, and this may not be the last, understand what type of learner you are. Because we may be a kinesthetic learner, and you're listening to all these audiobooks and you're wondering why you're still stuck. Why it's not clicking. Why, and you're doing it, but why it's not clicking. You may be that visual learner where you have to watch a certain video and different things. When you understand the type of learner you are, then you understand what type of teacher to watch. Do you understand?
That's good. No one has ever said that here before. You're
Really?
the first. Yes.
Right. So there's different learning. So when you understand, the teacher understands different learning styles. Your parents know how to get you to do something and so forth. And they know how to teach you. Like my daughter was at my event at the Georgia Aquarium this past Saturday. And the event coordinator says, you know, I was telling her what to do. And I said, no, she's a list thinker. She has to see it. So you tell her and then you write it down, or you have her write down the list, and she has it. But when you understand what type of learning style you are, then you know what kind of teacher to go to, and you know how to retain that information when you start seeing results. You start seeing results, and give yourself a shot of dopamine. Do that thing, accomplishment, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just finished editing my book.
Yes.
It's done. And you're like, wow, if I can do that, then I can do this. And that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And it's not necessarily being stuck. That's just the crazy lie that you keep telling yourself. You're not stuck. And you don't need this rule book either. It's just the will and having a list to do it and actually doing it. Because sometimes, you know how sometimes people say, I thought I responded to your text. I looked at it and I thought I responded.
Yes.
It does happen.
Oh, yes.
But that's what happens with your dreams too. Because if you dream it and you wrote it down or whatnot, you think it's already completed, and then you still push back and so forth. Last thing, I like to shift people's paradigm and change the perception a bit. Right?
Okay.
I said this to myself. Remember when we were younger? We have our co-host here. Remember when you were younger and you used to wet the bed? Now, when we were asleep on our backs, okay, when we were asleep on our backs, and our body told us we had to go to the bathroom. on our back, in our minds, just in our minds of this imaginative, we saw the porcelain toilet in the woods. In the woods. And we literally sat on it.
Yes.
And went to the bathroom and woke up. It was like, how in the world did this happen? So it's the same body, right? If I can imagine and see something while I'm asleep, imagine, and we use the majority of our brain when we are awake, imagine what happens if I can see it and change that perception in my brain the same way to see that porcelain toilet. So your dream may be the porcelain toilet. Go out here, you see the porcelain toilet. What's the steps to go there? Because you have to reach that goal really, really, really bad. You got to go really bad. Why? Because someone's depending on you. And the last thing to help you with procrastination is to put somebody else in front of you. The reason why I guess I'm reaching so many people or having help with so many people is this, because for doing it for myself, I'll procrastinate. Doing it for myself, I'll take a little. But let Regina say, I need help with this and this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay, well, we setting this up on live on the show. Everybody got their pens and paper? Okay, let's do it. And for your kids, you go out you'll fight for somebody. If I say I'm hurting, you'll be a prayer warrior right now on the spot and pray for me and pray your heart. If I say I need money, you like, okay, we're taking a collection, everybody.
Yeah.
If I say I need shoes, you like, okay, well, I know a person this and the other. You asked me what I want, but you never told me what you want, Regina. And so if we put somebody in front of us, of the person that's broken, that's in your purpose of what you're doing, you will get there faster. You'll stop having sleepless nights and set a schedule. You may not be at a real job, but set a schedule.
You have to.
9 to 5.
You have to.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Regina.
Oh, and I heard several things.
I'm sorry, guys.
I heard 2 things. Small victories. Because the small victories help you get to the big victories. When you're able to mark something up, because I'm a list person.
Right.
When if I do something that's not on my list, I will write it on my list so I can check it off. I like the small victories. That inspires me. And something... You are so right about the toilet thing. I think about all the dreams that I've had when I've had to use the bathroom. A toilet will pop up out of nowhere. And you're like, there's a toilet in the middle of this conference room.
And I'm going.
I love that. I do.
Right. And it's just like you said, you had a dream, and before you can even speak it, while you were awake, it happened. So we understand the power. If God is in everything. And just to have a tiny piece of God, then we too are powerful or creators. My daughter is not saying she's the parent, but she has a piece of my DNA to where she can walk in the room and people will recognize that she's elegant, she's smart. You know why? Because she sees mommy, because my mommy is this, and because my mommy is this, I am this. I'm not mommy, but I have a piece of her, and therefore I am. And so God is saying, walk with authority. Stop coming to me in pity. I done told old boy to make the cell phone. I done told this team to make the live stream to help you get your message out. I done told them to make the airway so we have a microphone and voice and we can project our voice. I done told Regina to open up the door to resources to connect with this person. She didn't understand why she met this person, but she met this person so she could tell you. I don't understand why, and it goes forward. So when we understand that, then the pain that we went through, it becomes worth it when you see the results from that. But no longer speak from a place of pain. I now speak from a place of power, and that's where you see the growth from me starting. It was from a place of pain. I was still healing, and now it comes from a place of power.
It's so obvious. It's so tangible on you. When I've been watching you, and I was like I said, it's a whole other lifetime of blessings and dreams from that point to this point. So what's next?
You know what, Regina? We are on tour.
Yes.
And I said, I just want to show everybody that it's possible. So we're the authors in business. Our members are self-published authors. They're going on tour. We're going to 7 cities. Yes. This past weekend, we were at the Georgia Aquarium. Oh, my gosh. It was beautiful. We had such a great time. And March 24th, we'll be in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
Also Chicago. Phoenix, Arizona, New York, DMV, and Houston. Wow. So those who are watching, you may be an author and you may not have all those resources. This is a group of 10 to 20 authors moving as one to each city together to reach as many people as possible together as one. And you want to be in that place because sometimes it's difficult doing an event on your own. It is. Also, too, if you want to come to just fellowship with us, if you want to come with resources to tell you how to turn your book into a business. Let me give you something, Regina. Let me see your book. Everybody see her books. You got to have it up. Okay, this is Regina Sunshine, State of Mind, right?
Yes.
See you on the battlefield, right? It's not over until I win.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so this movement right here, right? I'm going to tell you real quickly, and everybody who's watching, right, how you can turn this thing into $10,000 to $20,000 with no money. You don't even have to write the book. It's called compilation or an anthology.
Yes.
10 individuals pay you $100 to write their stories about their battlefield experiences, or 10 different ways on how you can win, because there's different scenarios, right? Mm-hmm. Different, how to win as an ex-felon, how to win as a radio host, how to win as a speaker, how to win as this, right? But then the second package, you have another package, right? That you have the book signing and now they're panelists. So now it's just a vendor. Then you have the next package when you turn into either an audiobook where they all record. You are a radio host, so you're very familiar with the airways and the microphones and everything. How much did that cost you? You already know how to do it,
yes,
right? Then you have another package, which is another $200. We're already close to $1,000 for one person, okay, to be on video. What does that include? Media and everything else. Listen, that's worth it. That's worth it. And if you take 10 people, $1,000 a pop, and you guys do it together in this book, and now you're not promoting the book by yourself. Nobody's promoting it by themselves. Nobody's moving by themselves. Open up the door and a platform for somebody else to thrive, to get speaking engagements with that compilation book and their stories, and to be all over around the world. And you just made $10,000 off of a book you didn't even write.
It's so interesting you're saying this because I'm in the middle of, I just started an anthology on grandmothers.
Congratulations.
I made the announcement last week. I hadn't put the flyer out, but I was planning to write a book about my grandmother called Lessons from My Grandmother's Lap.
Wow.
And I thought other people have stories they want to share about their grandmothers. Yes. So let's do this book in tribute to our grandmothers.
Right.
Yes.
And then maybe do an awards and have all the grandmas come.
Yes. I think that's something Lanita mentioned.
Come on now. We're not giving it too much. Everybody pre-order your tickets to definitely support Regina Sunshine. Make sure you contact her to be a part of her anthology with her grandparents. And if you want to be on tour, I'm very personable. You can send me a message or even give me a call on my website at dleeinspires.com. I want them to be a part.
Well, you know, whenever I was thinking about doing this, I remembered Past the Mustard Seed. That was where I was like,
that's what I was like.
Everybody talk about their grandmas, because that makes it even more special. Right. Because my thing is this: there are lessons we learned that we want to pass on. Right. You know, the times that I spent shelling peas with my grandmama.
Right.
Those conversations, you know, those Sunday dinners at her house after church, the things that our kids don't always have now. Mm-hmm. But I want to, make sure we pass that on so that wisdom, that love is passed from generation to generation. And like I said, and I looked at what you did, I was like, there are more people who feel the same way.
Absolutely. And and I'm talking to you and also the audience too, is that that is going to be so beautiful for us to remember our special memories with our grandparents, but also for our younger generation, for people to reminisce, and also to honor them when they're alive. I even said, I hope I'm alive to see the change. So it would be so awesome for, mothers and grandmothers alike to come to that place to see that if all those times we spent here cracking peas and popping peas, that look at what this happened. It was a prayer. You answered my prayer, God. It really worked. And so I think that you should definitely do that. And that's what I share with my members of AIB Nation is that, it's not a lot. Like, how much money did I tell you to spend?
Nothing.
How much work did I tell you to do?
It was still minimal. Yes.
All you're doing is organizing, but you're not writing. Right.
No.
So what is stopping you from making, what do you want, $10,000 a month, and you need to push out a book every month?
Yes, I love it. I love it. There's so many more
It's
things
so
to talk.
many things,
I know, Jack. I know
Regina.
we're out of time.
I miss
Jack.
you so much.
This is so good.
I
This
miss
is
you.
so
I
good.
miss you guys. Instinct Radio. I thank you, and I just hope they message you and let you know. I'm just going to end with this: that if you did something today, 3 things today, message Regina, message the Regina Sunshine Show, send her a message to say, hey, look, I got it done. I watched your show. I did this. Thank you so much for that friendly reminder.
I thank you so much. This has been so good. I needed this. I always say the
I
encourager
needed
needs
this.
encouragement. You need to be around, and especially now that I moved into this space that I'm coaching so many people,
Right.
that you're constantly being
Yes.
pulled out of you. So you need to be around, that iron to
Yes,
sharpen
sharpens
you,
iron, right.
so that you can feel back up. So I thank you. This was
It's a
for me. I
pleasure.
thank you for coming for me.
My pleasure.
And bringing your beautiful family.
Yes.
Shout out to Mama and the
That's
baby
my
over
team.
there.
That is my team.
Well, remind our audience again how they can reach you and how they can follow everything that you're working on.
Well, I'm really excited to connect with them. I really am. This has been a phenomenal show. You guys can contact me at my website at dleeinspires.com or via social media at dleeinspires. You can also send me a message, or you can just give me a call at my office at 404-919-0396. I look forward to seeing them on the tour.
Yes, that sounds
No
good.
author left behind.
I love it. I do. And in fact, one of my the thing I love about coaching, as I was telling them earlier, somebody can come to you with an idea. They had this one line, this is what I want, and being able to help them make it manifest. And I have a new person that I'm coaching that is in the process of writing her book, and I just gave her your information. I said, reach out to
Wow.
Desiree. I said, this would be the perfect space for you to release your book in. So hopefully
Thank
you'll hear
you
from
so
her
much
soon.
for that. Absolutely.
Well, we thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a great show. I'm full. I don't know about y'all. I got what I needed for today. Make sure you continue to support Desiree and her efforts. When I tell you she's changing lives, she's changing lives. Every space you walk into, the atmosphere changes. My mama used to always say that. She says, because of who you are and the Spirit of God that is within you, when you walk into a room, everything should shift. Whatever is happening before you got, everything should change because you're in that space. And I feel that when you're in this space. So I thank you guys for tuning in. I leave you with the words I always leave you with. Remember this: God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life. Make sure you tune in next week. We are here for our once a month Living Like a Boss Men show. Me plus 5 male co-hosts talking about all things related to men and brotherhood and things of that nature. Remember that the Regina Sunshine Show also airs on Tuesdays from 12 to 1 on People TV, Comcast 24. So check us out there tomorrow. It won't be this show. This is our live show. We'll have our edited show that we will play on tomorrow as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Remember this: I always say it's not over till I win. If I hadn't won yet, that just means it's not over. So I tell you today, it's not over till you win. If you hadn't won yet, baby, that just means it's not over. Be blessed and keep winning. We're out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning in to the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle. And this is In-State Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
Hello, it's your girl, Regina Sunshine, motivational speaker, author, and talk show host. I am passionate about helping others to live their best life. I call it getting a Regina Sunshine state of mind. I am the host of the Regina Sunshine Show. It airs every Monday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on instinctradio.net, where again you will find me helping others to live their best life. It is my goal always to leave you better than I found you and to help you to understand that it's not over till you win. And if you hadn't won yet, that just means it's not over. Make sure to follow me on Facebook.com under Regina Sunshine Robinson and also on my website, reginasunshine.com.